What up, everybody? It's your boy Heems, and we are back with another podcast. To everybody out there, I hope y'all are having a great day. Today, I got a very special guest coming all the way from Sacramento, California, and only Drunken Husky. What's going on, Drunken?
It's it's going. I'm excited. It's going.
Hey, well, thank you for being here. Really do appreciate you coming through today. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you into streaming?
I gosh, that's it's a long story, I guess. I mean, down to the basics. I've always been a gamer. I was gaming since gaming was gaming. I'm 31, so it's always been interesting to me. And I was never into really watching YouTube until I'm seeing Mr. Moon, which is he does a lot of Twitch, but he does like movies from because he does RP,
Mhm.
which is role play for like GTA and a bunch of other games. And once I seen that, I kind of got into it, and I had a group of friends that wanted to start recording podcasts. We started with that, and then just got into um, recording full gameplay videos, and eventually I went out on my own. And was like, I want to stream. It's cool. It's a cool thing recording videos, but there's something totally different about streaming to a live audience and getting that one on multiple chat and being able to actually talk to them instead of reading comments.
So, what was it like your first time streaming, and what was your first platform that you streamed on?
My first time was great. It's crazy because my first time starting the stream was huge. Like I was my first day. I think I had like 20 viewers. My second day it doubled, and it was crazy. Like within the first month, I was at like 150 viewers, and it was Grand Theft Auto Online, and I wasn't doing anything specific. I wasn't playing story. I wasn't playing with a group of people. I was just literally be riding around, listening to music, talking to people. And yeah, and that lasted for a long time until I got very bored of Grand Theft Auto. But it was GTA, and it was great.
Yeah, GTA is one of the most favorites thus far, and that game is still growing strong even to this day. I was streaming it, and I actually am still in the story. I actually got to try to wrap up. Everybody keeps telling me to do the online, and I never got around to doing the online. They're like, you're missing out. It's so many different updates and patches and missions to that. Like, you got to get right on it.
Oh yeah, it's fun if you have a group of people. Like most definitely, it's great if you have like a group of people going in. Then you could do the heist. But on top of that, just even like driving around and doing stupid stuff, it's cool. It's cool. You just gotta watch
That's
out
what
for those lobbies with hackers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw what was it? Damn, I cannot remember this guy's name, but I remember he was just even just trying to go to like the barber shop, and like literally every time he tried to go, they kept
He,
bombarding him. Like he could not get among the people
yeah,
in the cars. I was like, "Ooh." Like
yeah,
it,
the
it,
simple
it,
task.
the simplest task can be the hardest task in that game. I hate to see what it's like going grocery shopping. So you said you started off on YouTube. Now, when you first started streaming, or even as you've been streaming, how was it, or how do you deal with, or do you get like negative feedback sometimes from people? Or do people, try to troll or anything like that?
Oh yeah,
When
there's always that, and I mean it's multiple things. There's people who troll in different ways. I'm a black streamer, uh, and I get the N word and stuff like that, and a lot of hatred sometimes. But I troll right back.
Mhm.
I When I have my mods around, they'll take care of it. But even they know don't take care of it right away. Once somebody says something, they already know. Like don't just ban them right away because I'm gonna troll them, and I'll troll them either through uh, using my brain power and talking to them very nicely, or I'll get chat to talk shit to them, or I'll just sometimes I do with in my streams I've done hip hop karaoke nights
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So I'll be like, they'll say something, and I'll be like, all right, guys, we're gonna do hip hop karaoke right now, and I'll troll them through a song,
Wow.
any song that in this anybody that just goes with the situation.
Right. And that's a good way, honestly, that you're doing because, like, some people, and I think that's something that's too the fear. Sometimes with streamers, they for the sake of gaining those followers, they rather put up with some of the trolls or put up with a lot of the comments that are given to them, and they'll just keep enduring it until either they had enough or they can't deal with it anymore, or they get too many people at a time that's sitting there doing that.
Oh yeah, and I mean, one thing that streamers always have to realize is a lot of the viewers are going to be younger, and
Mhm.
they think it's cool or funny to do these types of trolls and stuff like that. And the best thing you can do is, like I said, sometimes I used to use my brain power and I'll question them, and it
Right.
changes their mind state because that's what you want to do. You want to change some of their mind states. If it's not, because some trolls are just little funny trolls. Some trolls are actual like more than troll, like the normal troll. It's kind of like some pranks are pranks and some pranks aren't pranks.
Mhm.
And if we both can't laugh at it, then it's not. It's obviously not a funny troll. So the educating and questioning, you question them like, why would you even say that? Dude, I'm
Right.
like, I'm here, I'm giving you entertainment to watch. People are in here having fun, and you come in here and you start talking like this and like kind of ruin the vibe. And they'll change their mind state sometimes. Not every time, but sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was funny." And even at that point, there's some people who would be like, "Well, it's not funny," like go off on them. But at my point, I'm just like, yeah, just sit there. Everybody messes up. Everybody thinks different things are funny, but you also have to think ahead of time and think about what you're about to say.
Right. And that's a good piece because a lot of people sometimes like, and then when they stream, they either react to it, and that's the worst that you can do is react to it, especially in a negative way, to where it's like you basically took away what was meant for you as the content creator, and you actually gave it to either that person that was either trying to troll or give you a hard time. It's like once you lose that audience, it's like boom, you lose the stream.
Oh
And
yeah.
when the way you handle that stuff and then doing it under pressure, like seriously, that's a good move. You mentioned you like sometimes doing like you have your moderators. Do you, as far as like with your streaming, editing and everything, do you have a group of people that you work with, or do you actually do a lot of the stuff yourself? And
Oh, I mostly do everything myself.
you do.
Oh yeah.
Do you ever experience like burnout sometimes when you stream or when you have to do everything by yourself? And then if you don't, what could you tell people to help them kind of, if cause most people got to kind of start on their own anyway, what would you tell people to kind of help them so that way they can keep it going and not, necessarily either fizzle out or burn out and, lose interest in what they're doing?
There's multiple answers to that. My biggest thing is, and it depends on what this person who's trying to start out is doing. With me, I work a full-time job, so it's kind of hard sometimes depending on how the day goes and whatnot. But with streaming, it's always making sure that you are streaming at the right time. You know, um, like with me, I do a lot of 24-hour streams. And people are just like, how do you do this? And it's a fact of, hey, I'm going to start at this time. My biggest thing I tell anybody that asks me, hey, how do I do a 24-hour stream? It's you wake up in the morning, you eat, get ready, do what you got to do for the day, and you start streaming as soon as possible. A lot of the time, if I need to go get food or something, I'll go grocery shopping the day before. I'll make sure that my next morning, all I have to do is wake up, walk my dogs, get ready, eat, and start streaming. The sooner you could start streaming, the soonest you could start streaming, is means more the day. Because say, hey, you wake up, you do a bunch of stuff, and you're awake for 9, 10 hours messing about the day, and then you start your 24-hour stream. That's 9, 10 hours of energy that you've wasted doing other stuff that could have been put towards a stream, and you're not struggling. Another thing with the 24-hour streams is having people, because you may have a game that you want to play and you feel like you can go 24 hours playing that game, but it's very difficult and it's draining. It's really draining. You'll get bored, and boredom is a killer. And that goes on with, so I always make sure I have friends who are just like, all right, well, about 10 hours into my stream, you can hop in, we'll play something else. or we'll do this, we'll do that. And I have multiple people that always come through, Add the Lad, um, Johnny Cakes. Like, I have multiple people who come in throughout the stream and they'll hop in and play different games. As far as like recording, it's and making sure if you want to get your videos out on time, it's taking a day and recording multiple videos. So you want to record 5 or 6 videos, which can be depending on how often you put out your videos. If it's once or twice a week, it's pre-recorded, and you're already ahead of schedule. So all you have to do is edit. If you edit, I don't do a lot of editing to my videos that I was posting on YouTube. I like it to seem more natural. I want people to see what happened. I don't delete deaths and make it seem like I had a perfect playthrough. I want people to see that, see my reaction, see my frustration, enjoy the actual game. If it seems like a perfect playthrough, it's boring. It seems like a lie. So like I said, you record multiple videos, you'll edit episode 1, get that uploading. If you're not tired, then you can start episode 2, edit that, get it ready. And by then you already have 2 weeks of videos ready. You have 2, you got one uploading and you got one that you working on. Now you're already ready for next week. By next week, you'll probably have 2 other videos done and you're already ahead of schedule. You know what I mean?
Right. No, that's really cool because honestly, sometimes, and that was actually another question, because like I actually find myself doing that myself. Like usually when I'll download or I'll upload, like either from Twitch to YouTube, I normally leave the video as is. And for a lot of people sometimes, and that's not just, they like the pre-packaged, they like the little, like if you give an intro, you do these cuts, you add sounds, you make it look funny, or if you, let's say you was playing like The Last of Us and like you was doing more searching than you actually did the main mission, they want you to, basically kind of chop all that out and like, okay, get straight to the point. Like, what are you doing? I like what you're talking about because it's like sometimes I think that's what makes even each individual stream unique. Don't get me wrong. You see like the big AAAs, like you see Quix, Kenshin, and you see a lot of them. They cut the edit, and then you can hear them literally saying in the stream, "I was doing this for like over 2-3 hours, struggling on this part." But then it's like you said, that authenticity that comes with it, of them seeing that struggle, them seeing, and truthfully, they don't get that sometimes through the uploads unless you upload it as is. Now you do got some people that are like, they'll click it, they'll fast forward, but like they don't get to see, what you went through just to get that. And like you said, just having a you could have the perfect, like, oh, perfect playthrough, like, oh, he just went and destroyed, but it's like that takes away the fun of sometimes as far as
the uniqueness.
Yeah, and the uniqueness. Yeah. Because that's what even like with Twitch, people like seeing you, yeah, cool. They love to see you play the video game. But then they also want to see you as that person, who you are.
Oh, yeah, because there's 20,000 videos I can watch of a complete playthrough of The Last of Us 2, but one might be different because this person was struggling with this. And it's funny because, it's right there in your face, and you're like, and it's all different, Maybe This boss was easier for somebody. Maybe this boss was harder. Maybe, this person found something. And one of the things with, as far as streaming, it's different. But with videos, there's things you can simply do. You can cut your videos if you like to edit, cut it. But you could take all that footage of that struggle and upload it same day and be like, the struggle of this boss or the struggle of this area, and name it something different. So there's episode 1, 2, and then there's episode 2 struggle of a boss, and it's only that boss part or only that part of the recording where you struggled, and you don't want it in the main series of episodes.
Right.
It's just like everything else in life. I mean, we watch TV shows, we watch anime, we watch cartoons. There's always fillers, Then those fillers are there to let you know what happened in between day 1 and day 5. Because episode 1 might be day 1 and episode 2 might be day 5. But what happened in between those days? And that's what you can do with YouTube videos. Streaming's different, Just got to get good and make it not as much as a struggle.
Right. Because that was actually something someone brought to my attention. Because like I was like, well, hey, I'm doing these streams stuff like that on Twitch and like how to upload on YouTube. And you kind of get into that. It's like they say you can't please everybody because on one hand I've had people say, "Hey, your videos are too long," and then I've uploaded short videos like this video is too short. It's like, well,
Yeah.
hey, well, damn, well, where do we meet in the middle of this? And it's like you said, you just gotta chalk it up to just be yourself.
Oh
Be
yeah,
the
most
unique.
definitely. Most definitely. The internet's never pleased, and we've seen it with everything that ever comes out. There's people who will talk if they fix something in a game, people will say, "Well, I liked it the way it was," and there's people that wanted it changed, and that's the same thing with the videos. There's people saying your videos are too long. There's other people saying it's too short. You can't please everybody at all, at all, ever. And it always comes down to what you want to do, because that's when you lose interest in streaming or doing YouTube, is when you're so busy trying to please other people that you're making it too much work for yourself, and it makes it boring for you, especially with streaming. And that's when I lost a lot of my viewers, is when I stopped streaming Grand Theft Auto. And I stopped streaming Grand Theft Auto because I wasn't enjoying it. While other people might, I wasn't. And that's one of the things, like you said, to stay away from, like, it draining you. And that's what drains you, is if you're not enjoying it, why are you doing it? And some people say, well, the money, and it's just like, it's not, that shouldn't be your reason for everything.
Right. Because what, it's actually you brought, because like that's how I feel. And I know Simpa's probably going to hear this at some point. That's how I feel about Fortnite. I could play it sometimes, but to sit here and just say I could play it every time, no. While be that as it may, it's one of the most demanding games, and I don't know why on God's green earth how. But not that I hate Fortnite. Everybody focus on it. That sounds like this hate bit of it by heart, but no. But it's just that's not me. Or like
and I mean that's where I'm at. Even with Fortnite, it's just like, I appreciate Fortnite for what it is.
Right.
Is it a good game? Yes, as a game, it's a good game. Obviously, it's a good game. People enjoy it. But for me, is it a good game? No, I can't stand it. I'll never play it again.
Right.
But the concept of it and the way they do their events and stuff, that's cool as fuck. I don't play Fortnite, but I'll go and I'll watch the events on YouTube and stuff like that. But yeah, no, for me, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, a lot of people too, and it's like you said, and that's something even in a few of the other interviews they brought up. Like, you have to look at the reason why. Why are you doing this? And in truth be told, like even for myself, like we all felt guilty that as of, oh man, shoot, it'd be cool to just get stream and play video games. But it's like if you don't have a deeper meaning or a deep enjoyment for it, with everything that comes with it, sooner or later you're going to get that burnout. You're going to lose it. It was like there was no real motivation to get paid. It's like a job. It's like you can go to a job every day and put in 9 to 5, but even then you see that all the time. People get burnt out. They either going on vacation or you see them quit. Because like it's no real interest in it. Even for example, like because like we said, we were just talking about some of the games, but then like on the flip side, when I went to play The Last of Us, truth be told, like usually my schedule, I usually play on YouTube for like an hour. I play on Twitch for an hour, but that game itself broke all that, and I think what broke it for me was because I think I genuinely liked that game. I genuinely liked the story, despite. Yes. What the controversy and what was being said about it.
Oh yeah, and that I'm right with you, dude. Like,
like coming into the door and then actually now walking into the door of The Last of Us. It was like every moment, and it was in my head. Like if everybody wanted to ask about like that in my head, like every moment that I was streaming, I was like, okay, I'm looking at the clock. It's the hour. Like where can I stop? And then like every time you're like, okay, well I think I might stop here. This is about to be a dead moment, or maybe this will be that. And it's like, nope.
Nope. Yeah. No, and it's so funny because you still till today see so many people online talking about that game and saying how it's horrible. And I love talking and being like, "Oh, you played it. What didn't you like about it?" And they're like, "I didn't play it. I watched a few videos when it was leaked." I'm like, "So you have no idea how the game actually is. You know, somebody can't cook me something to eat and be like, look, it's good, and I don't taste it and say, no, it's nasty. I can't say the dish is nasty if I haven't tasted it, even if it doesn't look appealing. It could look like, dog doo doo, but be the best dish I ever ate. And same with the game. There's so many people that haven't even touched it, but still have so much info on it on how bad it is.
Right. Because there were even parts I remember I even asked a friend about, or no, it came up. He was like, they were like, dude, I can't play this. Like, and he was like, with certain sexual and different stuff that was in there. And then I made a joke. I was like, well, did you actually check down there? Are you sure this is what exactly you think it is or who you think it is? They were like, well, no. I was like, so how do you know?
So, yeah.
So if you know where I'm going with this conversation or who I'm talking about as far as the characters in there, there was already suspicions of that. The list goes on. Even I just saw an article today, and they were talking about cruelty to the animals and to the dogs. But it's like, okay, you're trying to base real life stuff into a story, into a game.
Yes. And I remember when all that happened, and I can't remember which one of the creators was like, you can play the whole game and not kill one dog.
Yeah.
But even at that situation, what makes it even better to kill a person?
Right, exactly.
If you're basing your facts that, I can't play this game because there's animal cruelty, you're killing people also, you know what I mean? Like, right. So, but you didn't bring that up. What you brought up was the dogs, which is a weird thing for somebody to say. It's fine for you to play Call of Duty and kill people, but you won't play The Last of Us because there's animals that are attacking you that you might have to kill. There's also people that you might have to kill. There's a lot of things factor into why you are wrong.
Right.
Well, everybody has their own opinion, and they deserve to have their own opinion. But
right, I agree with you, because even saying if you really want to get even further, okay, well, even the clickers or the so-called infected, they're still people, even if they're not at that current time, but at one point they are. So what does that say about them or anything?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
It's like, it just, but it's like if you tell that to everybody, then that's when everybody starts to malfunction. Yeah, it was so many. Because truth be told, like, funny thing about me, I can hear about an upcoming game. I'll read a brief article, but I don't watch trailers. And I know, like, wait, why? I don't want to spoil anything. Like, I just want to be surprised, because then too, like, when I stream, I want it to be, that much more authentic, to be like, it really caught me off guard.
Okay, yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times, a few times I had people, even like with The Last of Us, it was like, oh, it's about to go down. I was like, dude, don't do that. It's about to go down. So at one point I had to get for YouTube. Okay. And I didn't, like I was even telling them then, no spoilers, and we're not spoiling, even if you've watched this on Twitch, because at the end of the day, like you said, there's a majority of people who was already turned off by this game way before it even came out, and having a chance. And then yet this crazy thing and ironic thing, Miller brought this up, was that there was just as much controversy in the first one than it is in the second one. And yet, but that's everybody's favorite game, though, that everybody remembers.
Oh, yeah. And I guess it's crazy. That's why the internet is not the place to be. I don't mind spoilers too much. I won't unless it's too much of the spoilers. The main reason I avoid watching trailers and looking up stuff, like Ghost of Tsushima came out yesterday. Mm-hmm. I've been waiting on that game for a very long time. Very long time. I didn't watch anything on it, and it's more of a position for me to where I feel like if I'm not watching the trailers or paying attention to what's going on with the game comes faster. Like it does. It's because I've been there where I'm like, oh, this game comes out this day, or it says it comes out Q4 of this year, and I continue to read stuff and watch stuff and follow it on Twitter or keep up with it, and I'm like, God, this game's taking forever to come out. And then there's me now where I'm like, I'm not even going to watch anything, not going to pay. I'm going to forget about that game entirely. And the next thing I know, it's out, you know.
You know what? In hindsight, since you said, I've had that experience before because I remember one day we was walking to GameStop, and this was back on PS3, and it was Infamous 2. I was like, I didn't know they were working on Infamous. When did this come out? I just literally got through playing the first one. What the hell? So it actually does something for you, like you say. Sometimes either reading into it or keeping up with it, even if you don't watch everything, it creates that time and that preparation to where when it does come out, you're ready for it versus you didn't know about it or the game at all, and it's like, bam, it's right there in front of you.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, it's just like when you're at work. You watch the clock too much at work, it seems like time's going by way slower than it actually is. Right. Compared to if you're just working and you're like, damn, I already got to go home.
Right. What's the old phrase of a watch pot never boils?
Oh, yeah.
Well, speaking of that, since you actually brought it, because I myself haven't gotten the chance to get Ghost of Tsushima, but truthfully, I haven't watched too much of the gameplay. Some people were concerned with it being linked directly to like Sekiro, or even like as far as the difficulty.
I don't get that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I think I streamed it for like 4 hours last night or something, and I don't get that vibe, like, because they were announced at the same time, and I think that's why people looked at it like that. There's a difficulty spike if you're not playing the game right. It's kind of like playing Dark Souls. Dark Souls, everybody says it's one of the hardest. The Souls series is one of the hardest games out now. The Soul series isn't hard if you play it right. Which in Souls, it's paying attention to enemies' attack movements. Once you learn that and you get that down, Dark Souls is easy. Same thing with Ghost of Tsushima. It's easy once you learn how to play the game. I would compare it more